Welcome back to another episode of Thoughtful Leaders, an initiative under Thoughts on Education by collegedunia.com. College Dunia is one of India's leading education portals catering to students, parents, and education industry players who are seeking information on exams, cutoffs, student reviews, or applying to colleges. This initiative is to enrich the user experience here at collegedunia.com and try to bridge the long view gap between the vision of top management and the students as well as the parents. In today's episode, we have with us Dr. Uma Shankar, Principal at SIS College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mumbai. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
So I would like to begin this session by enlightening our audience with a brief introduction of yours. Dr. Uma Shankar is working as the Principal and the HOD of Philosophy Department at SIS College of Arts, Science and Commerce in Mumbai. A recipient of Yoga Mitra Award in Jan 2017. She has been teaching philosophy and psychology to undergraduates, and for the past 20 years, she has been teaching Advaita Vedanta to postgraduates. As an academician, she holds an experience of more than 27 years in education, training, and teaching fields. In 2012, Dr. Uma Shankar underwent training at a Fulbright Summer Training Program at Santa Barbara, University of California. Dr. Uma Shankar has authored and presented multiple research papers related to these topics in various international and national conferences as well as in research journals. We are really happy to have you, ma'am, today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. So, beginning with the interview, my first question to you is, you have held key positions at education institutes throughout your professional career. What kept you connected with the education sector? And how has your experience so far with SIS College of Commerce, Arts and Science?
Thank you, Aditya. To begin with, education or teaching rather has been my passion. I have been consistently doing that right from the day one of my career. Strangely, SIS has been my alma mater too. I've been the student of that college. I have taught the college during my graduate program and also taught the university, and therefore I could come back to the same institute to begin my career in teaching. And therefore it has been a very pleasant and a lovely journey right through the last 25 to 27 years.
Okay, ma'am. So moving ahead to the next question. Being the principal of SIS College of Arts, Science and Commerce, could you please explain your roles and responsibilities towards the students?
Precisely as being the head of the institute, the responsibilities are immense, challenges are all the more. I believe that we need to constantly handhold the students towards academic excellence. That has been our forte at SIS. And we also love to have a continuous discussion and a continuous sense of commitment towards education, which we try to do it not only through the curriculum, but also through the other forums. Our teachers are engaging constantly on this in order to see the complete self-development or the potential coming out from the student in and through the college life that they try to spend at our portals. And therefore, definitely, it gives me a lot of responsibility to see to it that these students are able to live as very committed and wonderful citizens of the world.
Okay, ma'am. So moving ahead to the next question. How do you strategize about the key programs and plans for marketing and administration of your institute, being the principal of SIS College of Arts, Science and Commerce?
Aditya, SIS is a brand name. It has a glorious past. It has a wonderful history because this is our Diamond Jubilee year. We have just completed 60 years of its existence in the state of Maharashtra. And therefore, we look forward to not with just the past that we have carried, but recently we have got the autonomous status from UGC. So this has brought a lot more of responsibility on our shoulders to keep up the name of the SIS in terms of academics. We have changed our curriculum. We see to it that the students are getting what they are asking for, not necessarily something is thrusted to them. And this kind of a planning and administration gives us some kind of a leverage which enables the students to draw towards SIS. and therefore continuous planning on these front has automatically has given a good amount of marketing, needless to say, and we have attracted wonderful, committed, academically enriching students.
Okay, ma'am. This brings me to the next question. Do you have any extracurricular activities or programs here in the institute to enhance the skills of the students or rather expose them to real world challenges?
When it comes to skill-based learning, at SIES, we offer a lot of programs. We have something called a Center for Excellence. Through this center, we ask the students to enroll themselves for a lot of credit-based program as well as certified programs where the courses are taken up in various durations. Through these kind of courses and workshops and certified programs, students not only learn new skills and upgrading their skills, but also a lot of things like foreign languages, co-curricular and extracurricular, kind of potentials which can be used for them later on. A lot of vocationally enriching program which will find them a good job later on. Apart from that, we have adopted a village few years back. So our community service, which is very important, and to that villagers, we have enabled them through the skill-based program. Our teachers and students go regularly visit that village and try to empower them, not only the children, but also the parents and teachers. The social cause which we are is very, very important. And therefore, our NSS program that we talk about, as well as nation building through our NCC, we have encouraged our students to be constantly aware of their commitment towards society. This would bring in a lot of world change, which we are looking out for.
Very well articulated, ma'am. So my next question to you is, so how does the curriculum here at SIES College ensure that the students are being prepared for the future?
As I said, we just got our autonomous status 2 years back. This is our third year of autonomy. So we have restructured our curriculum in such a way that we want the students to know better about the current affairs. A lot of things which are going to help them for the future prospects in terms of research. Moving towards the present challenges that we have in the institute, our vision is to be considered as the most admired institute in this city. And towards that, the entire academic process that we have is being planned, and the roadmap is towards that. I'm sure with the autonomy that we are enjoying, we have brought in a lot of changes in our teaching, learning, and evaluation pattern. This would definitely prepare them for the future. They will have an edge over the others, I'm sure.
Okay, ma'am. So my next question to you is, how do you try to bring in a practical approach towards the students, towards the subjects, and make it industry-oriented?
When it comes to industry connection, we believe that industry academia interface is very important. This we have realized the last few years, and having taken up the post of head of the institute, we have signed a very important and very, very interesting industries with whom we have connected and signed MOUs. This has allowed us to collaborate with them, and we have conducted a lot of programs with such industry partners. Even in our academic forums like our BOS, our academic council, our governing council, we have incorporated some of the industry big timers who would come in, who are part of our forum, and they are able to give us a lot of advice on this. This has enhanced, like even TCS for that matter. We have one of the very important HR global head is part of our advisory committee. So we are getting connected to them. This will give an exposure to our students when they leave the college, and easily they can get internship and thereby a good job.
Okay, ma'am. So moving ahead to next question. How do you help your students to cope up with the competition being so high in the outside world?
Aditya, I believe competition is within as well as it is out. So a lot of things that they have to create new benchmarks and create new milestones. What we do is allow the students to grow beautifully, explore a lot of their potentials, and thereby they are able to engage in this academic world in this challenging world rather. I do not want them to succumb to these kind of challenges and problems and stress. That's one of the reasons at SIS we have created something called a very unique thing, which I would love to share with you. That is our value lab, which has been my brainchild. A few years back, we started off that where we believe that the students who pass out from this institute should carry, apart from their degree certificate, they will carry a load of values which SIS is known for. So I declare a value every month, and thereby the students get engaged in the activities and programs and workshops and lectures and what not based on that particular value. So consciously, our students are engaged in that value, and thereby I expect a slight transformation, and over a period of time, it may gallop and it may gather more momentum. So, a very committed, value based children will pass out, and that would bring them a lot of glorious future, which they will be facing it.
Okay, ma'am. So, moving ahead to next question. How does the institute enhances the skills of the faculty and prepare them according to the industry standards?
I would say that faculty definitely, especially during the pandemic, are looking out for upgradation of their skills. So we have done a host of workshop and made almost mandatory to every teacher to go through this kind of a skill-based program just to upgrade themselves. That is required because all the more everybody has to be tech savvy and able to manage how to conduct themselves in a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting or whatever. That is one part of it. So when you're talking about the industry standards, we do run a lot of programs in the college, especially with bioanalytical and food technology and nutraceuticals, where we are collaborating directly with them and to determine what is the standard that they are expecting. So our students are able to face them. That is mainly for the science, but we have art, science, and commerce, a mixed group. So it is the courses that we run should enable skill at all levels, and definitely, though it was challenging initially, but very diligently all of them cooperated and enhanced themselves with this. So I'm looking out for a very, very bright future as far as the digitalization of SIS is concerned very soon.
Okay, ma'am. So my next question to you is, what would you like our audience to know more about SIS, which they may not know?
SIS has started in a very, very humble way. Our management, or the first school that started off 60 years ago, it was just with a handful of 6 or 7 students at Matunga. And today it has grown up into some 14, 15 institutes across this metropolis. And our institute, which is 60 years old, started with a few courses and very handful of students at the college level. And today we stand as a mighty banyan tree, giving shelter to thousands of students and enabling academically enriching them and providing quality education to this part of the city.
Okay, ma'am. So moving on to next question.
Also, sorry, Aditya. We also have something called a Pregna Vision Center, which is dedicated to the visually challenged students and learning disability. We have a special center there. We have a trainer. We have everything, the software that is required for the blind students to learn. They have a braille typing and also the printouts for that. And the entire center is dedicated, and we have few staff members who are constantly in touch with these students and helping them. And we have wonderful results from some of the visually challenged students in the last few years.
Okay, ma'am. So moving on to next question. What do you see as the greatest strength for SIS College of Arts, Science and Commerce?
The strength would be we have an excellent, supportive, encouraging management who are ever with us, like at the back for us. And, we can always fall back on them. We have extremely cordial, affectionate teachers that brings in a lot of gold medals that our students have got it because of such dedicated teachers we have got it. And to support, we also have a very helping and supportive non-teaching staff. Nothing can be complete in an institute without absolutely committed and enthusiastic students who join us. So we have a good, from management up to society and to the supporting staff, all of us look and work like a family. And that is the greatest strength I look out for.
Okay, ma'am. So let me ask the final question for the day. Any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Not a piece of advice, as coming from the field of philosophy, I always tell the youth that one must be focused. You must have the clarity of vision, have a good thought process, be compassionate to the world, to the people around, learn a lot of new things. Learning can never end at any point of time. One has to constantly be a good learner. Upgrade your knowledge in the field of science and any other that choose, whatever that's your choice of interest. Accept challenges with a smile, face all the problems. I'm sure the entire youth can scale high. Sky is the limit for them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So this was definitely an insightful session.
Thank you, Aditya, for a good opportunity. Thank you.
So everyone, this was Dr. Uma Shankar, the principal of SIES College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai, on today's episode of Thoughtful Leaders, an initiative under Thoughts on Education by collegenews.com. Thank you very much, ma'am, once again for giving us your time and speaking to us amidst a busy schedule. Yeah, we look forward to interact with you again, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.